Ladies and gentlemen, Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another review, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 for the Nintendo Switch. Sit down, relax, get a cup of tea or coffee. Let's get into this review, see whether it's worth your hard-earned cash and your time. And we begin with a story. If you follow the One Piece anime, then you're going to be in for a treat here, as the game consists of many of the arcs from the anime. Even if you're not a fan, it's still enjoyable nevertheless, but it could be a major spoiler if you do want to watch the series at some point, so bear that in mind. The story arcs included here are the Alabasta arc, the Eni's Lobby arc, Marineford arc, New World arc, Whole Cake Island arc, and an original for this game only, the Land of Wano arc. If you've watched the anime, then you're gonna love playing through these arcs even more. Whether you like One Piece or not is another matter, of course. I absolutely love the adventures of Luffy in his quest to become the king of all pirates, and you do become rather invested in the character, and that's why I like this Musou game more than some of the others that are out there, purely because of its character development. Let's move on to the gameplay. I've played my share of Musou games on the Nintendo Switch. We've been spoiled, most recently with Warriors Orochi 4. I'll say straight off the bat, this one is one of my favorites. Maybe that's because I have an affinity already with the main character, but it's the way the character is developed throughout the game that you care about the characters and how the story pans out. While this is a Musou game which plays like many others, let's be honest, I feel that this one is the most accomplished and probably one of the best Koei Tecmo have made to date. One of the first things that you will notice when battering the multitude of foes is how some buildings and objects are now destructible, lending to an awesome feeling when carrying out a number of combos, bits of building flying everywhere while you're in the midst of a battle, along with dust sort of accumulating around you from all of the destruction, which lends credence to the amount that's going on screen. Then there's the chain ground strikes to air, where you can carry out killer combos from the ground up and into the air, and then wonderfully taking your foes back to the ground with a massive pummel. It's something which feels a little different, and if you've played a wonderful game like Attack on Titan, you'll know what I mean when it comes to how great aerial combat can feel in action games like this, especially when it's as fluid as it is here. As always, there is a number of moves you can pull off with the differing characters, where there is 40 here, i.e. with Luffy and his superhuman rubber-like elasticity, which always reminds me of Inspector Gadget, but is just good overall character to play. Of course, there are a raft of other characters too that you can choose to play. Most playable and non-playable characters from Pirate Warriors 3 are present, but, and there is a but, there are ones which haven't made the roster, haven't made the cut, which is going to be annoying if you liked some of the characters from Part 3, to say the least. Why that's happened, I don't know. Some others have been added from other story arcs, but it would have been nice to have had them all here in one place. I'm sure many of you will be checking out Vinsmoke Raiju, one of the Sky type characters, which we'll talk about in a minute. A link in the description so you can see a full roster of the 40 playable characters, each having their own type of power, speed, technique, and now Sky. Now Zoro, for example, being a power type, he'll have a lot of destructive combos on the ground, but not so good when he's in the air. A speed type character will have some long combos, but link combos are reduced. And the Sky type will allow a lot of combos to be carried out throughout the air. I tend to prefer power more than others, but that's just a thing that I've become used to from the last game probably, and so I prefer it. Figuring out the moves is what it's all about. The combos and linking them all together and dealing massive amounts of hurt is what I love about these games. Switching forms is specific to certain characters. You have the option to equip forms as skills in-game with a certain combo of buttons which you can switch forms to your liking. Missions play out mostly in the same way with these games. They don't change too much. You kill hundreds of bad guys practicing your combos and then kill a number of mid-tier bosses before having to kill the big boss. And when I say big boss, they're bigger here than ever, taking up a huge portion of the screen and look impressive, forcing you to think of differing strategies, even better that you can play as these bosses too later on in the game. After completing each mission, you'll be scored, which grades you on the enemies defeated and how quickly you completed the mission. Missions also have random events which pop up now from time to time, including a whole load of enemies coming from nowhere, loot boxes, which all adds an element of surprise. Berries the game's income, you can spend these on the growth map for each character, upgrading life, stamina, defense, much more like airborne attack enhancements too. And before battle you can choose special moves that you'd like to assign to your character, which can be activated by holding down R and the corresponding button to that move, like X, B, Y or A. Skill slots are also filled with enhancements like Pursuit or Bounty Hunter, each giving certain increase in certain stats while in battle. A number of modes are included in the game. The dramatic log, allowing you to play the story arcs in the order that they're meant to be played. Free log allows you to play the chapter that you wish. And treasure log, which allows you to enjoy various episodes featuring a host of unique characters. Each episode is divided into multiple ranks. And in the beginning, the East Blue class can be played, but satisfy the criteria for each rank and you'll be able to challenge for higher ranks, allowing you to play the Grand Line and New World episodes. Core episodes are the key to progression through the treasure log. I did enjoy this mode, but for me, of course, the dramatic log was my go-to. Online, there are a number of missions that you can play where 2 or 4 people can play in co-op. Works really well indeed, and I had a lot of fun playing with friends. And if you're one of those people that love split screen, then you can play locally with a friend. I do have a couple of criticisms about the game you need to bear in mind. For me, it doesn't affect me too much, but I understand how it can for some. It is a Musou game. That means that it's going to become rather repetitive and samey after a while. The second thing is the camera can get a bit wonky at times. You know, you kind of lose your bearings and you don't know where you are, even though you can lock in by holding down the analog stick. So just bear that in mind. You need to sort of move the camera around manually, but you know, soon enough you do get used to that. Let's move on to the visuals then. They look different to what has come before on Pirate Warriors 3. The frame rates are certainly a lot smoother than they've ever been on the Switch. I really enjoyed how smooth it was in terms of the performance, because that was slightly lacking in Part 3. I did, however, notice quite a bit of pop-in when running around quickly and carrying out lots of moves with lots of foes on screen, and you're going to notice that from time to time. I noticed it more in handheld than I did in docked, and I'm hoping that the future patch that has been confirmed may reduce this, but it is there and you will notice it. The game's visuals are nice and colourful and the characters do look great. I especially enjoyed the massive bosses and their design. The backgrounds still don't have as much detail as I would like, but I guess that's the price to be paid for having so many enemies on screen at once. However, the destructible environments are a nice touch and do add an epic feel to the fights. Animations look fluid, the characters do not resemble plastic anymore, and a lot of the animations I noticed are the same from Pirate Warriors 3, which I reviewed. If you want to check that out, click on the right hand link above. Otherwise, it plays great in both docked and handheld. However, one point to note is the load times are dreadful. They really are bad at the moment, and I'm hoping that the patch will sort that out, because it does become tedious waiting for a map to load on this particular game. And I'm not one to moan about load times a lot of the time. I'm quite patient, but these do seem excessive. The audio here is absolutely excellent. It's voiced in Japanese with English subs. There is no option for English dub. I'll let you guys argue whether that's a good thing or not. Personally, I don't care. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I like the music tracks. The sound effects make the game sound absolutely epic. I don't really have a bad word to say when you're playing the game and there's some fantastic rock tune coming on in the background. It just feels great, and I enjoyed it a lot. Very good quality, and it satisfied me. In terms of value, this is a AAA title. It's going to cost you £49.99 in the UK for a digital purchase. In the US, for our friends over there, it's $60. Our European counterparts expect to pay around €60. You can nab a physical for around £45 on Amazon, and in the US about $50. Now then, there's an absolute beast of an edition called the Kaido edition, which is an incredible, wait for it, £149.99, has the game and a 30cm LED diorama. Now, should you be feeling flush and you pick this up, you can do exclusively from Game here in the UK. In the US, I'm not sure. Maybe you can let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this type of thing, then the value really depends on how much you like this type of game. You can easily spend 50 to 100 hours or more on it without a problem, but most that just want to complete the story expect to put in far less than that. In terms of the verdict, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 has added some new gameplay mechanics, destructible environments, and visuals which look better than ever before. And while all of this adds value to the game, most of you will want to play through those story arcs that you've seen through the anime. And to that degree, this game is great for the fans. If you're brand new to this, then there is plenty to enjoy, but be aware that Musou games are not for everyone, and some do tire quickly of how repetitive they can become, no matter how many characters or new moves are added. Perfect for those then who require some great action without too much thought. A solid for me 8 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support. If you're still watching, then you're still supported. But do me a favor, hit that thumbs up and maybe leave us a comment down below letting us know what you think of this game, whether you're going to purchase it or not, or maybe you already have and you have some comments that you want to share with the rest of the community. We'd really love to hear them. For those of you that are not subscribed already, then consider subscribing for more videos like this. And if you are existing or new, hit that bell notification so we can let you know when our new videos go live. You don't want to miss them because we got bargain videos that go live every Sunday with us letting you know which games are great on the Nintendo Switch at a great price. And on Monday, Jordan lets you know which physicals are on sale for the Nintendo Switch, because we know a lot of you love those, with our community spotlight. And in both of those series, there are prizes to be won, so make sure you don't miss it. And in between that, there's all these lovely reviews, gameplay videos, and features that we produce. And lastly, did you know that we have a website with a bunch of fantastic, talented writers that write a load of articles over at www.switchwatch.co.uk. Be sure to check that out if you want to read this review. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. Make sure you stay safe, stay at home if you can. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.